Hey, it's me, Kysophy. Get comfortable because today I'm going to be yapping a whole lot. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. May you spend your most precious time with your significant others and loved ones. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about my whole journey and experience with Decaying Winter. I'll start from the beginning. It was a boring day like others, and my friend introduced me to this tankfish video since he knows I sometimes like to watch this guy. And it was about a game called Decaying Winter. Got a lot of views, so I'm interested. After that, I got hooked and said, you know what, let's game. We hop on the match, and oh my god, this game did not tell you anything. Usually, I would just drop it right there, but like, if it weren't for the fact that I've already watched tankfish videos, so I was really eager to do all like the game breaking bugs in that video. Which was what happened. We equipped Zealot, Blitzer, and Drifter, blah blah blah, and break the game and cheese our way to evacuation. It was superb. It was a feeling in gaming that I haven't had for a while actually, so it was a breath of fresh air. I would hop on Discord, go to the GC, and start yelling at each other's throat for many things like stepping on traps, placing the wrong hive mind line, and like eating all the gummies and heals. Because no one really knew how to like conserve items, and it was simply fun. After a few weeks of playing, I was completely addicted. I even started managing my schedule between school and having daily Decaying Winter sections. There was even a period where I even set my alarm about an hour before school was started, and I would hop on public servers, literally like random servers, and just start playing. And once I completely get invested in the game, I would do my very best to research every single bit of info I can find so I can become like a better player in general. And so I started looking at the wiki. Yep, you heard it right. The wikis, my fellas. And some YouTube tutorials as well. There weren't a lot back then, and even if there were, they would be pretty vague sometimes. I even remember pooping myself with my first attempt at killing the Sigler. I kid you not, my heart was pumping. I felt like it was really there with me in the room as well. Then there comes this solo videos. These are pretty much the prerequisite of Decaying Winter content. Someone would simply record themselves and playing the game to the very end. That's it. And my god, they were the best tutorials for me personally. As someone who doesn't have like a TikTok level attention span, I can easily binge watch through all of these hour-long videos, and I would analyze every parry, every strategy, and the person playing. I would write notes down. Yes, you can even say I was a Decaying Winter fanboy. And yeah, that's about it for my little introduction to Decaying Winter and how I indulge in it. And moving on to a more important part of the journey is my YouTube channel, Kysophy. I was a content creator long before Decaying Winter came into my life. I mostly made tutorials for mobile games and occasionally Roblox. I did in fact have already recorded a few footages of my failed runs in Decaying Winter and uploaded it. But they were all unlisted as their main purpose was to just share with my friends. Even though I'm 99% sure they didn't even watch it at all, I still feel like sharing. And one of the channels back then popping off, it was called Diamond Troll B. I don't know how do you pronounce that, but for me, I always call it as Diamond Trophy, so I'm sorry if that sounds a bit weird. Anyways, it was like how I said before, they would record their and upload their full unedited runs onto their channels, and it inspired me to do the same. Then I realized, I'm kinda still shit at the game. I could barely solo slash screen, let alone raid the lab without getting all the debuffs under the sun. So I went for solo wins instead. It was at least more manageable. After I finished a run, I would either go to studio and mess around, or I call my friends to make a thumbnail for me. I click upload it and that's that. I never gave it much thought and still continued doing so for a few more runs. It wasn't until I started getting picked up by the algorithm and it went slow, but after that I started to gain some traction that motivated me and I had me in the zone every day. I kid you not, I would beat myself up trying to solo win a puck my audience chose and would even make a thumbnail on that same day. Sooner, more and more people came in and watched the content, and I even made a server and gathered hundreds of people. We would have game nights and daily chatting sessions. Didn't last very long though to do some misbehaviors. I'm sorry. I began making tutorials like I used to back then, and let me tell you, those were one of the best memories I've had with this game. The footage gathering and editing, it was such an amazing but also exhausting experience. And eventually I decided to go for the all evacuations wins as well, and which I know I have not done Apostle. I'm sorry fellas, and I think I will be most likely not ever finishing it. Sorry folks. To be a YouTuber, try hard and a student can have its effects sometimes. Eventually, I move on from uploading raw footage with a thumbnail and began editing my videos, and they were, of course, longer to produce, but the trade back was absolutely worth it. And then I began collabing with different YouTubers. One of the first was Faru, my current partner. Love you, babe. I would say those were the golden days of Decaying Winter for me. Every day I would chat, make plans for the next video, have game nights with the boys, and my god man, I felt like a damn uncle sitting out alone in his yard, staring into the horizon as I reminisce about all the wins I've had. I think I can talk more about it, but they're mostly just tiny stuff which I don't think which will add much to my already long yap. Then we get to the community. All I can say is every community got its bad apples every now and then, but the majority of my interactions are fun. I do gotta blame myself for not talking much though. As I've said before, I mainly talk with friends in GCs and DMs. Even if I had a feeling to chat in the server, I would probably type a few words at best. That's honestly all I can say. Sorry if it was like a bit too short. I barely interacted with it other than my YouTube community posts and the updates. I've made some people laugh, smile, some mad and upset, and to those people whom I hurt with my words and bad sarcasm, I'm sorry and I sincerely wish nothing but to move forward and grow as a person. All in all, Decaying Winter has left a pretty significant impact on my life as well as my channel, both in a bad and a good way. But the memories I've had with it are definitely something I'll always cherish. Now we're closing in on the conclusion of the video. I would probably bet a few of you are asking a familiar question. Am I leaving Decaying Winter? I would say I'm no longer active in it. What does that mean? Basically, I've left the official server long ago and I've been indulging myself in Steam games instead. More importantly, the assignments and group projects I've had at universities. Besides, I think the fire I had for Decaying Winter has long been extinguished, and I don't really have it in me to make the content I used to make before. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm still be making content for the game only if it has any major updates. In conclusion, I'll be uploading way less than before depending on the state of the game. Well, you have made it all the way to the end. I've actually had this idea for a while to share this as a sort of goodbye video for the past few months. I still had a few video ideas I wanted to try, but I never really worked on those because I lacked the motivations and originality to bring them to life pretty much. So why make this now? Well, after everything happened with the Eden Files situations, I think this is the right time to let the channel rest for a while. Thank you for listening. Kysophy out. Hey, can I tell you something man to man?
Yeah, sure, man.
Sometimes I fantasize about being kidnapped by a tribe of wild gator girls, then they take me away to their den, somewhere deep within the jungles. And I hope they're all kinda over and over again. So I can the entire population.
Guy. character actors are better.